Good morning to Miss Marie and to all my fellow classmates. I am Ivanus Cristabel Kisol, and today my group members and I are going to present our MPU 3343 Corporate Social Responsibility Project. And we are from Group 5. So before presenting, now I'm going to introduce each of our group members. So firstly, we have Fatin as our proofreader. And next we have Chloe Lu as our researcher. And next is me. I am the group leader. And we have Bong Jicheng as our resource collector, and Pierre Law and Frederick Tay as our summarizer. So without further ado, now I'm going to pass the time to the next person for the introduction.
Hello everybody, my name is Bong, and today I will be introducing our Group 5, the CSR initiative. In recent years, more and more companies have started to adopt CSR initiatives as ways to give back to the communities. Thus, Malaysia Airport Holding Berhad MAHB has also decided to launch a CSR initiative program to help people with lower standards of living. The CSR objective of MAHB is to help not only their customers, but also society as a whole. Next, I'll be passing on to the next person.
Thank you, Bong. So today we are going to present our proposal, our project, enhancing the use of solar energy from Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad. Before we get into the project itself, we are going to talk about Malaysia Airports areas of corporate social responsibility. So Malaysia Airports Holding serves the people and the environment. When we talk about the people, it is their company's employees, the company's customers, consumers, the communities that work with the company at the airport, or communities outside the company's area, such as the No Poverty Movement, Quality Education, the Zero Hunger Movement, and many more. And when we talk about the planet, the company gives services to the climate action community, such as the Lives Below the Water, the Lives of Land, the Clean Water and Sanitation Movement, and more. Now I'm going to pass the presentation to the next person.
Thank you, Chloe. So now I'm going to talk about the project relevance and needs. There are three goals. Firstly is to educate people about the environmental changes and how it affects all of us. Secondly is to let people have clean and affordable energy as a way to protect the earth from further harm. And thirdly, to reach the SDG goals by working with either local or international communities to tackle the issue on climate change. Moving on. So according to World Top 20 organization, the Sustainable Development Goals SDG is a universal call to action by United Nations Development Program to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure all the people enjoy peace and prosperity. So firstly, the good work and economic development is crucial as stated by the Malaysia Airport Holdings Berhad. They keep a portion of their wealth to produce and reinvesting in their firm, while dispersing the rest to cover the operational expenses and employees' compensation, capital providers, communities' investment, and the government obligations. However, they should also consider paying higher salaries for employees as the cost of living in Malaysia has simultaneously increased over time. So SDG practice is crucial to show the commitment to give back to the stakeholder, indicating a long-term growth and dedication and the positive impact it ought to bring to the society. And decent work and economic growth could improve high-quality education to create a skilled workforce and combat poverty. For example, the rate of unemployability would decrease and the community would also benefit from a boost in the economy and ultimately enjoy the community investment in that area. Next. An SDG that the Malaysian Airport Holdings Berhad is currently practicing is establishing the sustainable cities and communities. MAHB also made an effort to encourage and build strong relationship with the local community. For example, education and youth leadership, community enrichment, and Malaysia branding as the three major pillars of sustainable community establishment. Now I'll pass it to the next person.
Thank you, Fatin. It's me again. Now I'm going to talk about our project description. So what our projects can do is we want to increase the use of solar energy in the airport in Malaysia. So solar energy is actually the radiation from the sun that is capable of producing heat and then causing chemical reaction or generate electricity. Next is our objectives and our aims. So Malaysia actually has an ideal climate for solar power. Therefore, by using solar power, Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad, MAHB, is able to generate clean energy, and we are able to save money from electricity bills and reduce greenhouse gas emissions releasing into the atmosphere, and will be able to lower down carbon emissions in Malaysia. Moving on is our key activities in increasing solar power in the airport. So firstly, we're gonna install solar PV equipment in every airport in Malaysia and install ground mount, parking canopy, and rooftop systems. By utilizing this airport rooftop space and land surrounding the airport, this will allow electricity to regenerate at the point of consumption, which further improves efficiency by removing the need for transmission lines. Next, now I'm gonna pass the time to the next person.
Thank you, Christabel. So the two main target audience would be the customers and employees of MAHB, as they are the one who mainly frequents airports. And since we use rainwater instead of regular water supply, it will be very cost effective, as airports uses a lot of water supply daily, either for the toilets or just simply washing the big planes that they have. Secondly, the airport also runs 24/7 without stopping, so we can imagine how monstrous the electricity bill will be. Thus, the method of implementing solar panels will also cut down the cost of electricity expense, but also conserve and save energy at the same time, which greatly reduce the pollution that airport create. Thirdly, the employees will be benefiting from the higher salaries provided by MAHB, as the cost of living is constantly rising. Lastly, the portion of wealth kept by MAHB will also be benefiting the students to help them end poverty and provide higher education by reinvesting back to the local communities. Next, the estimated duration of the project will be well over 5 years, as we need to experiment whether it is actually effective or not to use solar energy, and also to see if this plan is sustainable, as we cannot predict the future. For example, when COVID-19 pandemic broke out, MAHB lost well over 94% of their revenue, which could ultimately lead to their bankruptcy. In the duration of these 5 years, we will be helping local communities as much as we could by using the cost saved from electricity and water bills. Next, the estimated budget to run this project will be coming from the cost saved from solar energy, and it will be well over 2 million ringgit. That also, the average person uses 6.5 to 10 liters of water every day in airports, so we can imagine how big of a cost that is. In the end, our budget will be around 4 to 5 million ringgit every year, only if there is no unexpected global event such as virus or lockdowns. Our budget will be mainly focused on providing kids with educations and increasing the salaries of the employees. Next, I would like to pass on to Pierre to talk about the sustainability plan. Thank you.
Hello, I'll be presenting the sustainability plan. So the question is, how will this project be self-sustaining, and how can this project fund itself eventually or in the long run? This project has been self-sustaining as shown as from Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA1, and the second terminal, KLIA2, both profited from the use of renewable energy due to the use of their photovoltaic solar power systems, basically the solar power systems. Our activities have been sustainably supported by the solar power system since 2014, which has produced a great amount of pure renewable energy. The airport uses fossil fuel powered vehicles, and we're always looking for ways to reduce the environmental impact of those operations. We replaced our aging and less efficient petrol and diesel automobiles for operations in 2019 by adding 2 electric vehicles to our fleet of vehicles in KRA1 and KRA2. These two new electric vehicles are a reflection of our commitment to the environment and effort to minimize our operating expenses and carbon emissions. That is the end of my part. I'll be handing off to the next person.
Thank you, Pierre. Hello, everyone. I'm Frederick Tain. So moving on, I'll be presenting about the expected result of our project. This project will work both ways, which is in short and long term. Our expectation with this enhancing project is great. In short term, we expect Malaysian Airports Holding Berhad to save more than what we are budgeting in for this project, and that will be around 4 million Malaysian ringgits. The proposal could also potentially produce up to 93,096 megawatts per hour of energy per annum, reducing the airport's reliance on fossil fuels for energy regeneration, as well as reducing the overall carbon footprint, helping to reduce the airport's impact on the climate crisis. However, in the long run, our proposal aims to completely replace fossil fuel energy regeneration for the airports. RATE 2020 claims that it is likely that by 2030, solar energy will be one of the most important sources of electricity production in many parts of the world. Therefore, the proposal will allow for Malaysia Airport Berhad to be one of the early adopters of these technologies, helping to contribute towards the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 7 and 13. In order for the project to be successful, we will require external capital investment. We want and expect more communities to join us so that this project can be successfully initiated and completed. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for listening to our presentations. We hope that you find something useful within our presentation and help us in the fight against climate change to make a better future for all to come.